Hello, gentlemen. Hey, Josh. Welcome back for the week one, the week one matchups. Josh and I will be going over all these six great matchups that we've got, and we'll decide who we think is going to win, and that's that. So, Josh, how are you?
Weird calling me Josh.
Jerry?
There you go.
Jerry.
I'm so excited this day is finally here. I feel like since I've been out of baseball for a while that I'm just so excited that the first day is finally here of football, of NFL football. So
Well, welcome to my world. I've been out of baseball since May 1st, so I've been
you've
looking
been out a
forward
little
to
longer than I have.
that. So, well, I'll share my screen and we'll start with the defending champion, Mr. Shmee himself.
It's got a juicy matchup versus Bryson. I'm
Yeah,
sure he wants to take him down.
that's right. So here we go. Shmee versus Bryson. Um, we'll start off. We'll run through Shmee real quick, and then I'll let you run through Bryson.
Gotcha.
He's got Josh Allen starting off tonight, and Tyler Bass as well in a tough matchup against the Rams. It'll be interesting. You know, Allen is so good; it won't really matter who he plays because they Buffalo's going to put up points. Um, he's got his two-headed monster running back in Harrison Eckler, and they're both in. Well, Eckler especially is in a potential shootout with Las Vegas. And then you've got Tyreek Hill. I'm not sold on Tyler Boyd or Kenneth Gainwell as starters. Um,
Me either. Who's on his bench?
well, let's look. Let's take a look. Kadarius Toney, maybe.
Would you rather start Tony
Romeo
over
Dobbs.
Gainwell? I would.
I don't know. I might even start Dobbs over Gainwell, maybe over Boyd. That's tough. This is why I think I ranked Shmee how I ranked him in the preseason, which is he's got good top end talent, but it falls off so quickly after that. I think there's too many questions, and so what do you see over on Bryson's side?
He's got another tough matchup with Dak against that Tampa Bay defense. I feel like they're returning a lot of people that got hurt last year. He has Diggs going Thursday night, so the Diggs to Allen could kind of cancel each other out. So Bryson's really hoping for Allen to Diggs connection, where if Allen finds Knox or Davis a lot, I mean that's really going to hurt Bryson's team. Waddle's questionable. I think I just read he didn't practice today, so that's not good.
He was
Oh, he
practicing
was. Okay.
limited
So
limited
he's limited.
yesterday.
Must have been someone else that I read that wasn't practicing today. He's also got Akers tonight, so they've both got a few players tonight, so that'll be fun for them to watch. Um, Zeke against that Tampa Bay front with um, they still have Vita Vey. I think or is he hurt?
I do not
He's
know.
he's an absolute run stuffer, so I don't know what to think about Zeke. Obviously, Shmi has the running back advantage, but Mark Andrews is a huge, upgrade over Jaceki. So DK with against Denver's defense and Geno Smith being rated one of the worst, starting quarterbacks week one. That's going to be tough. Indy defense versus Houston should help. I have no faith in the Dallas defense, but um, I think overall, I'd still have to try and probably give Shmi the slight edge. I think this is going to be close because, like you said, both Shmi's team does drop off quite a bit with Boyd and Gainwell, but he's got a three-headed monster of Allen. Even though he's got a tough matchup in Harris and Eckler, that's 60 points probably right there alone.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to Diggs on Bryson's side is going to see Jalen Ramsey probably. Um, so I could see Allen looking elsewhere in this game, and then Zeke going up against Tampa Bay. I mean, they were the best run defense last year, and I think they retained almost all their key personnel, um, which lends itself to Dak having a big game. They were
Hmm.
susceptible to throwing. I think that's the key for Bryson to pull off a win is Dak needs to have a big game Um, and then he needs, Allen to be held in check, and otherwise for Najee to be held in check, which could be because Najee's hurt. He's got that Lisfranc sprain. So,
Right.
man, I looking at Shmi's team, I wanted to pick Bryson, but Bryson has tough enough matchups that I'm actually leaning back towards Shmi and the top end talent winning out.
Is that your final answer?
I think that's my final answer. I'll go ahead and pick Shmi to win here.
Nice.
So, all right, let's go to the matchups page, and we'll see. It pops up my matchup. So I guess we can go ahead and do my matchup with Jack.
That's great. This one's very juicy too, so I love it.
All right. Well, you go ahead and start us off on this one.
All right, I'll break down your team. Mahomes probably going to end up being QB1 or QB2 by the end of the year against Arizona in a shootout. I think that over-under is actually one of the higher ones of the week. You got Marquise Brown, former Arizona wide receiver, Captain Kirk, CMC and Barkley. I mean, those are two great running backs. Not necessarily in a non-PPR league, but still, they're going to be workhorses. They really got nobody behind them. Goddard, I think, should be one of Jalen's favorite targets because who knows what Jalen's going to do throwing wise. AJ Dillon could get. I don't know about the Green Bay backfield. I feel like everyone's really high on Dillon, but I feel like he's just going to get a lot of goal line touches, so he'll be very touchdown dependent on the season. But against Minnesota, I feel like he'll have a pretty good game. And then you got New Orleans versus Atlanta. That's very juicy. I mean, you've got everything covered up to down. I haven't up top to bottom. I haven't looked at Jack's team yet, but oof, you got some good
Yeah.
matchups.
Well, so on Jack's side, he's got Herbert in a potential shootout with Las Vegas, and he's got the stack with Allen and Williams. So I could see him putting up some points there. I think it's really going to come down to what does he get from his running backs, and is he able to get anything from Gibson, and who presumably is the starter for now while
Right.
Brian Robinson's out. And will he get anything from Monty against a tough San Francisco defense? And then he's got Knox going tonight. I'm hopeful that he stays out of the end zone. And then he's got AJ Brown, which, like you said, who knows where Hurts is going. Goddard did see a pretty big target share last year after Ertz got traded to Arizona. And so I'm hopeful that carries over into this year, and that the tight end is a big piece of their offense. But they might be trying to feature Brown early on to kind of get him acclimated in. And so we'll see. I like my matchups a little bit more. I do think Saquon's got a tough matchup against Tennessee. What I'm really worried about, I guess, is that Las Vegas Chargers matchup. If that turns into a track meet, he could put up 100 points pretty easily with those three players.
He could be in trouble. He's living and dying by that game.
Yep. And he's going to live and die by a lot of Chargers games this year. So, but I'm hopeful that McCaffrey against Cleveland and Marquise Brown trying to play keep up against Kansas City, and then Mahomes with his, I think he completed receptions to 10 different players in the preseason. So the attack's going to come from everywhere. And so, and they have no running game. So I'm hopeful that my matchups are able to overcome Jack. So I'm going to pick myself to win here, but I realize Jack's got that great Las Vegas matchup.
Yeah, I think your matchup's going to be the most fun of the week, but I'm going to pick you as well.
Okay. All right. So if we go to match, let me go to league because it's easier to see the matchups this way. Next, we get RO versus Maze.
Dang, an 8-point underdog.
Yeah. Well, Yahoo's projections are always right. Yeah, so we'll start with RO. He's got really great quarterback matchup there in Trevor Lawrence against Washington, which is probably needed because otherwise Trevor Lawrence is not that great. But then he's got Cup against Buffalo in what could turn into a track meet, and Buffalo's without Tre'Davious White, so Cup could be in for quite the game. Then he's got Dalvin against Green Bay, Kamara in a smash game against Atlanta. Ertz might be out. He's questionable, but I don't know.
I think he was the one. I think he was the one who said he wasn't at practice. Was Ertz?
Okay. I'm
so
not a
that's
big
concerning
fan
if he doesn't have another tight end.
I think he does. Let's look. He could always start. Nope, he doesn't
No.
have another tight end. So
Still got a few days though.
Yeah, he's still got a few days. So I'm not a big fan of Amari or Lockett, but there's no one else in Cleveland, so Amari's going to get some targets. I know Aro's otherwise got some decent matchups. I could see him putting up some points. What do you see over on Mays' side?
I mean, Brady may go scorched earth after all the, off-season talk that he's gotten. Cortland Sutton with Russ is a great against Seattle is a great matchup. Darnell Mooney, I think San Fran's defense is really tough, so that's kind of a tough matchup, but he's kind of the only guy in Chicago. And you got Jonathan Taylor Swift. Oh, he should make that his team name. He's got Taylor and Swift.
He should, but he probably won't.
I just realized that. That's awesome.
That is funny.
I think Swift is going to be used a lot in the passing game because they like using him in the passing game, and Detroit's going to be probably behind in that Philly game. Kittle, he looks like he's question mark, but I feel like he's on track to play, and maybe Ertz is a little more questionable, so he's got the tight end advantage there. Oh, he didn't practice
Yesterday.
Wednesday. We'll see what he does today. So far, I'm going up and down. I know Ro's got the three-headed monster, but I'm kind of liking Mays' matchups a lot better.
Yeah, Mays kind of has his three-headed monster and Taylor Swift and Brady.
Swift not as big as Kamara, but definitely, I don't know. I would just lean with Cup going against Buffalo's defense. I know you said White's out, and then he's kind of relying on two really poor quarterbacks to throw to Lockett and Cooper. I just feel more confident in Mays this week.
Yeah, I think Kittle's going to be out. It doesn't look promising. He sounded like he might be a game time decision.
That's not good.
So they might both be without tight ends, and Kittle he doesn't.
Yeah,
Irv Smith he could start. So I don't. He doesn't move the needle much. I don't know. I think Taylor Swift and Brady and Sutton is going to be enough to overcome Cup, Cook, and Kamara.
Yeah.
I don't know that Aro is going to get enough from Lockett and Cooper. Now he could, this one thing we didn't really mention, but Kansas City in a potential shootout with Arizona could bomb, whereas Tennessee, I think their defense could get a couple of turnovers from Danny Dimes. So I think you could see, maybe that comes into play here. I've struggled to take RO.
I did too.
So yeah, I'm gonna take Mays. That's my official pick. Man,
nice. So far we're 3 for 3. I know. I feel bad, but just a matchup on paper. I'm going Mays.
All right. Well, next we'll go to CB and Nels. And take us away talking about CB's team.
Burrow versus Pitt. That should be a good game. Pitt's defense against Joe Burrow. They're at home, so I feel like Joe should play a little bit better. Mays Evans and Pittman Jr. are two great receivers. Jones and Mitchell. Those are pretty good running backs, even though they might be in some timeshares. Waller, I guess, came back to practice, so that's a big upgrade for him week 1. And then Higgins, I mean, he's got a great flex. I feel like Higgins has been really high on everybody's boards, so to have him at his flex with two other great receivers he's got a pretty stacked team. And then Denver against Seattle and Geno Smith. I haven't really analyzed Denver's defense, but I feel like that's a great matchup as well. I'm really liking CB's squad. I'm surprised that he's projected to not even break 100.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at this might end up being one of the matchups of the week too. So you look over at Nelson's side, he's got Kyler Murray again in a potential shootout against Kansas City. He is without Hopkins for a few weeks, but there's enough firepower there, and they run that spread offense that I think Murray will still put up points. CeeDee Lamb is going to be relied on against Tampa Bay
Hmm.
because they're not going to. I bet they're not able to get much going in the ground game. Robinson's kind of an unknown. I don't know what he's going to do tonight against Buffalo. I don't know where they're going to, if they'll focus in on Cup and Robinson will have a big game or what.
Yeah.
But I think that Henry is going to run all over the Giants.
Mm.
And Pierce, I won't be surprised if he's only getting first and second down work against Indy. Um, and then again, I have no idea what the Chiefs are going to do. Like, I don't know who's going to catch touchdowns. Or I know Juju might end up having a huge game, and I wouldn't be surprised if he only caught 2 passes.
Hmm.
So there's definitely a lot here to like, especially Kyler, Derrick Henry, but at the end of the day, I think CB's just got too much over there that I'm going to go with CB in this one.
Dang, we're 4 for 4. I'm going with CB as well. I'm surprised Nels is favored. It looks like because Henry has so many points, and Henry will do well. But I like what you said about Pierce. I think Pierce is the guy in Houston, but week 1 against Indy defense, yeah, he's not gonna run away with it. So I don't think he's gonna really do that great the first game, but we'll see. Probably they'll be playing from behind too. So um, we'll see. I bet Nels hopes I'm wrong, but I feel like Nels is a little over favored here, and I would go with CB in this matchup.
Yeah, I think Jones is going to smash against Minnesota. Um, Pittman's going to get peppered with targets against Houston. Evans, I wouldn't be surprised if he catches 2 touchdowns against Dallas,
Yeah,
especially.
I don't think Godwin's playing, and Julio is a shell of himself, and it's like what you got Evans and a tight end and Russell Gage. I feel like
Russell Gage is good. I'm not
he is
gonna,
good,
but yeah, I'm
but
taking
Brady's
CB
good.
though. I'm
I
taking
am too.
CB. I think this is going to be a real close matchup. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being the closest matchup this week. So, but all right. So if we scroll down, the next matchup is Jerry against Wes.
Nice. I have the lowest projected total of the week. That's
Oh
of,
man,
out of everybody. That's awesome.
does Scales not have lower? Scales says
Oh,
89.
he does. Yeah.
Yeah. All
Well,
right. Well,
I'm
Jerry,
the
I'll look at
lowest in the 90s.
yeah, I'll look at your team real quick, and I'll let you look at
Okay.
Wes's team. So you got Lamar in a blow up spot against the Jets. You got DJ Moore, who will probably be catching passes from an amped up Baker against his old team in Cleveland. You might wonder, be looking at the weather though to see what that looks like.
Mm. Yeah, I didn't
Because if
think
they're
about
playing
that.
in a downpour, that's going to be a ground and pound game, which might benefit you because you've got Chubb down
Hmm.
here against a. I don't know how Carolina's defense was against the run last year, but you've got this two-headed monster here at Mixon and Chubb. I think Amon-Ra is a decent, second receiver. Um, yeah, I think you've got some decent matchups, and especially with Lamar. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he put up 40 or 50 points this week against the Jets.
It'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. What do you? And he's put a. It remains to be seen whether or not this year he'll be motivated to ball out without a contract, or if he'll be more like, I'm going to play it conservative. I don't want to get hurt. Because I know someone will sign me later this, in the off season. Um, I think that could go either way, but I'm going to err on the side of he'll ball out because he wants to earn as much money as he can on his next contract. So
Right.
What do you see over on Wes's side?
Uh, for our matchup, it's going to come down to Monday night, and I hate when it comes down to Monday night. All my guys that would have played, and it's just Wes trying to play catch up. It's kind of like a walk off. If he passes me, then it's over. Um, so he's got Russell Wilson, who, new team against his old team at Seattle. I think he's going to be amped. I think he's still got the arm, probably not as mobile as he once was, but hopefully he has a line on this new team that can protect him, unlike Seattle. Sorry, Nels. I feel like they never protected him. Deontay Johnson and Scary Terry are two really solid receivers. I'm usually not that high on Scary Terry, but Wentz may find him. I don't think there's really anybody else in that receiving core, so good matchup against Jacksonville. Connor and Sanders. I mean, I hope Sanders goes off because I have him in my other league, but not a very reliable running back. As I was doing drafts later and later toward closer to the season, Sanders was way down there. I mean, he was running back like, I don't know. It says 27 right there, so he's really fallen off. I guess a lot of people don't think he's going to do well, but he's got a good matchup against Detroit. He's got the best tight end in the league in Kelsey, so it's way better than mine. So I feel like he's definitely got a huge advantage there. I'm not high on Jacobs, especially if that LAC Las Vegas one becomes a shootout. But if it does become a shootout, then he's probably going to get more points from Carlson. I don't know why we're analyzing kickers, but that could make a difference. If you lose by 1 point, it could come down to that. And he's got a great matchup of San Fran's defense for Chicago and Justin Fields. This one's going to be close. It's all going to come down to Monday, which sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see what Russ does against his former team, but Deontay's may be already hurt. I'm not a big believer in Terry McLaurin, mostly because I'm not a big believer in Carson Wentz.
But didn't he make Pittman really good last year?
He made him decent, yeah, but I think, and everyone's saying he might be better now with Matt Ryan though. So um, I don't know. And then Sanders is supposedly healthy, and I think going to be the guy there. But um, Hurts will probably. Don't be surprised if Sanders scores a touchdown this week because he didn't score one at all last season. That's just how football works.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, but also don't be surprised if Kelsey doesn't get in the end zone and Jody Fortson scores a couple touchdowns for the Chiefs this week. So they like their backup tight end. So I don't know. I'm torn. That Lamar matchup is just making me want to pick you, Jerry.
I think this one's gonna be close, but like CB and Nels, I feel like that's gonna be close and like a high. Both of them are gonna be high, and I feel like Wes and I are both gonna be kind of lower, but really close. I have some options too. I have a deeper one of the deeper benches of any of the teams, so I could still maybe play Hawkinson, or I'm debating between Thielen and Bateman, but I don't think Godwin's going to play. But
You could play Clyde instead of Bateman.
I have no idea what he's going to do.
Yeah, no
He
one
doesn't
does.
sound like he's really the guy, so I'd like one game to see what the Chiefs do, and then
Yeah,
he'll probably play him against LAC because LAC's run defense was so awful last year,
yeah.
and that could be a shootout.
Huh.
I guess I'm gonna go me. Um,
Picking you.
yeah, I hate picking myself, but I think I got a squad to do it. But good luck to Wes and that
Yeah.
stable of stars.
Well, I'm like you. I don't like picking myself, but I picked myself, so I'm picking you, Jerry. I think you'll win a close one, but on the backs of Lamar Jackson having a huge game against the Jets. So,
I
all
hope
right.
so.
That last matchup, we get Taylor versus Scales, everyone's favorite insurance salesman, and versus everyone's second favorite lawyer. Um, let's see here. we'll say everyone's favorite litigator, because I'm not a litigator. All right, take us away on Taylor's team.
I'm really high on Cousins. I against that Green Bay defense is kind of a tough matchup, but I could see them being down and Cousins having to play hero in that prime time afternoon slot. He's got the Jefferson connection. If they can find each other, that's going to double up points. It's going to be hard to bounce back from. Chase versus Pitt. Chase is one of the best receivers in the league. Ramondre could be the guy. I think it's remained to be seen what his role is going to be. I still think he'll play a role, but we'll have to see against Miami. Fournette against Dallas. I keep hearing that Fournette came in overweight. Who knows what shape he's in? So I don't know. I know a lot of people are low on Fournette. So Pitt's one of the best tight ends. Whoa, got a feedback there. Pitt's one of the best tight ends in the league. And then he's got Claypool, who very underperformed last year, but maybe he's looking to bounce back because I feel like Big Ben, all he did was was Deontay. So maybe Trubisky will throw the ball around a little bit more. But Claypool's in a really crowded, wide receiver. That's a tough flex to play because he's got Deontay, he's got Pickens too, who's been playing really well in the preseason. Baltimore's defense should do really well against Flacco, and so I don't love his team and his matchup, but I think he's got enough to beat Scales. So we'll see what Scales has.
Yeah, well, so Scales, Trey Lance has got a decent matchup against Chicago that can kind of ease him in a little bit.
He's got the double connection too, Lance, Samuel, and Cousins Jefferson on the other side.
And Lance may be without Kittle, so that means Samuel's role could be expanded a little bit. Devontae Adams has a tough matchup against the Chargers secondary, but I think he's so good, and he's got a really good connection with Carr that they're going back to the college days. I think that he'll have a good, they'll have to pass to him to keep up with the Chargers offense. I like Javonte's matchup against Seattle, although I do worry about early in the season how much is healthy Melvin Gordon going to eat into his touches. Travis Etienne, I saw that James Robinson is supposed to be healthy and play this week, and so again, I don't know how much impact he'll have against Washington. So Rashad Penny against Denver. Denver's got a tough defense, and so I see Seattle in catch-up mode, so I don't see Penny getting a whole lot of run there.
He's got Buffalo's defense tonight.
Yeah, Buffalo in what potential high-scoring game. I don't know, man. This is one where I don't want to pick a winner. I think this might be the lowest scoring game of the week.
Right.
But I do tend to think that there's just a lot of star power over there with Jefferson and Chase. So if Cousins is able to put a big game together, I think you'll see Taylor beat Scaling. But I just, but if Javonte has a big game against Seattle and Devontae has a big game against the Chargers, I could see this being closer. I'm going to go with Taylor.
Okay, nice. I think Kmet is actually a pretty undervalued tight end, so that was pretty good get. It's funny that Scales he better have DirecTV ticket, or NFL ticket, or whatever it's called, because he's going to be locked into that Chicago San Fran game. So
that's right.
I'll go Taylor. I'll go Taylor as well. So I think we were 6 for 6 on picks, and we'll see how many we get right. That would be hilarious if we both went 0 for 6. So
that would not be because we picked ourselves.
I know. I mean, it wouldn't be funny. It would be tragic.
Well, I'm being summoned by my daughter, so I better run. So.
All right, that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Good luck everyone this week, except for Jack, and we'll talk to y'all later.
Good luck, everybody. Peace.
Bye.